streaming on this channel here soon too. So,
nice.
Excited. Am I already up? That was fast. Am I? Am I not? I might not be. I might be. I might not be. But am I? That is the real question. Oh, I am. Cool. I forgot how loud this thing is. There we go. But yeah,
I am back from the bathroom.
Jesus.
Cat. Jeffrey says hello.
And we are streaming now, by the by. So do your intro, yo.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Jumpchain Terminal Season, where we're walking through the world of Remnants, though, as anyone who's been watching the episodes thus far can tell you, there's a couple of things different and changed about it. For example, we got someone riding a Nevermore in the current scene, which is generally considered to be not normal in canon.
Yeah.
You can take that one to the bank.
That doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, unless your name is Culty, in which case, yes, it is explicitly very good.
No,
this is normal.
Good. It's just very good.
Now, when last we left off, y'all had hung out with Dave a fair bit, learned some information. Katie got translated into, I believe you said you became Google Translate. So,
dudes, I just became Google Translate.
You now have a passing understanding of some ancient language that you don't really know about, but you can read it, mostly. And then, of course, Dave, the incredibly ancient octopoidal Grimm, grabbed a marble-faced construct creature and pulled it away. Then y'all walked out and you found yourself getting ambushed by a whole bunch of people wearing Grimm masks, one of them riding a Nevermore.
The family.
If it's a constructed
Welcome to the
creature,
family, son. What?
If it's a what?
If it's a constructed creature, I wonder if they also made it, because, like, you know, they're kind of going around this territory. It is theirs, so...
What Katie can confirm, having seen it through the eyes of Dave, is it looked like it was hewn from marble. Yet it did move.
So, it's possible, because abilities are kind of weird. Pop.
Welcome to the family, son.
So one of them's riding a fully grown Nevermore.
Yes, a very sizable creature. I would say that it's probably, each wing is at least one Prius long.
Jeez.
So in general, I'd say that it might be a full 3 to 4 Priuses in wide when it spreads out its wings,
well,
which is
that's
definitely a method of measurement.
Wow.
Remember, kids, if you ever want to test something, call it a Prius.
Standard measurements are for cowards. No, that's it. They're for cowards. I'm going to use non-standard measurement when I can get away with it.
Half a library.
Depends on the library. Are we talking local small-town library or Library of Congress? Because I'm telling you now, if its wingspan was half the Library of Congress, you're going to want to run. So now that y'all been more or less ambushed, how do you feel about those standing in front of you? Because they shouted to identify yourself.
Oh, right.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. We can probably do that.
Yeah. Hunter.
Hi, I'm Lynn.
I like your bird.
It's impossible to tell their expressions from behind the masks, but they do seem to be a bit on edge, especially from the casual way that Katie seems to be conducting herself.
Yeah, I would be too. Trust me, I know that feeling.
State your business here on our territory.
Lost. Kind of. On our way to another place. Then got lost. Ended up here. Now we're staring at you.
You got any cool ruins or something?
You notice that the boss, the one writing the Nevermore, at least, it seems to look at Katie for several seconds at that before saying, "Why did the area you just came from explode?"
It exploded?
I mean, Dave did just bust through the area in order to grab the creature and then surge downwards. The area exploded. There were some minor tremors, not as large as you'd expect, but it
I'm
seems
gonna
to be
look
very
at
skillful at
Katie
digging.
and just let her talk.
Things like to do that around me.
I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with that explanation. You notice
That
that
was
several of them
not-
seem to be readying their weapons at that.
That was not our fault. We were running away from that.
Running away from what?
She doesn't say anything. I fucking say that.
Yeah, because that
That's
doesn't
a
sound
good
sus at all.
choice.
Well.
Do you know what a tentacle is?
I'm familiar with it.
That.
You were running from a tentacle.
Kind of, yes.
What
A lot
kind
of
of
them.
creature was it?
Was it a Grim?
It was a grim.
It was a grim.
Yeah, it was
Dave
a grim.
is a grim.
Yeah, just like it was a grim.
What kind of land-based grim has tentacles?
Dave, apparently.
Dave?
Yeah. We're calling it
He's
Dave.
cool.
On gesture to Katie. She has a habit of naming grim.
I like them. They're my friends.
Don't mind that.
Can I pet your bird?
Go back.
I don't wanna. I wanna pet your bird.
Well, you said that you were running from something, and it seems to me that either whatever it is has stopped chasing you, or it's none of our business. What is our business is if you keep walking through our territory. You haven't given me a single reason to let you and the rest of your suspicious crew through.
I mean, I did say we were kind of lost.
Then where are you going? I don't mind providing an escort if necessary.
Hey, healer, where are we going again?
Weird.
I've kind of lost track.
She looks confused on whether or not she should answer you honestly in front of them.
Hunter would just shrug.
We're headed eastward to these coordinates, and she lists them off. It's like she said, we're investigating some old ruins. Gesturing towards Katie as she says that.
Yep, yep.
So what? You're wandering archaeologists? You don't look the type.
That's rude.
You look
Yeah,
like you're
archaeo-
about ready to punch someone's teeth in so far that they shit them out.
Hey, I said it's rude. I didn't say it was inaccurate.
We're just the bodyguards for these ones. Make sure they
We
get
do
to
have
where
the
they're going
equipment.
safely.
We do have the equipment to archaeologize, you know.
I see. You should be aware that those ruins are located on family turf.
Oh.
So
Which-
incentivize me.
Incentivize how?
Give
Do you
me a
need
reason
something?
why I would let you through. I assume that you're not just trespassing on somebody's property wildly without any care, right?
Given that I blew up my own arm recently fighting a Grim, I actually, that would be pretty accurate to me, honestly. The rest of them, though, that may be a slightly different story. I'm a bit of a nutcase, if you catch my meaning. They're sane, I think.
I don't think that's helping our case.
Oh, it's absolutely not, but it's honest, and frankly speaking, we're just here to look at ruins. We want no strife, nor realistically any particularly ill will towards either side of the. He puts in, like, family? Yeah, family.
Let's see. Well, there's an easy way to authenticate your honesty. Tell me, are you familiar with how Grimm hunt?
Depends on the Grim, but yeah.
Yeah. He hops off the Nevermore and gestures for it to approach with him. Let's see. You. He points to Hunter. You
Raise
look
my
competent, and unlike your friend here, it seems like you probably value your arm. He eyes
do.
up and down, considering your comments, he eyes up and down the prosthetic on your arm, Jackalope. Good. Put your arm in the Nevermore's mouth.
Flashbacks.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, lucky.
No, you look a bit too excited. I don't trust whatever your ability is.
I'm going to
arm
kind of look over the Nevermore and see whether or not it would chomp off my arm.
It opens its mouth for you to put your arm in. Overall, from your experience of Grimm, you've never had one that passed up the chance to try and rip your arm off.
Cool. Oh, grab... that might be a bad plan. I'll shrug my gun so that it moves around. Still pointing up, but I'll move it around. And
It's not subtle, as the like when you shift your gun, the boss guy reaches his hand towards his hip, where you can see that he has some sort of folded weapon.
yeah, I ain't gonna shoot it unless it bites me.
It's not going to bite you as long as you play along.
I shrug as I walk forwards, and with very much so, if it bites me, its head is gone attitude, stick my arm forwards.
He grabs its beak and slowly moves it as shut as it can go, basically causing slight impressions onto your skin, but not enough to break skin or anything.
Yeah, he doesn't
Now.
even budge.
You see, a Grimm hunts by detecting negative emotion. Negative emotion of any kind, really. Hate, that's a standard one. Despair, deceit can be trained for. Now, I can't put all of your hands inside of the Nevermore, but I can ask you questions and have him verify the accuracy of them. If he lies about whatever you say, he loses his arm.
A bird loses its head.
Well, sounds to me like that's going to happen in exactly that order, then.
He shrugs. As long as you're
Now.
fine with that deal.
So, are you here as archaeologists to analyze the ruins?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, actually.
But yeah,
You say
technically
We're looking
yes.
for something in it.
Okay, so those are your out loud answers?
Yes.
I mean, okay, what is the original reason? Because I don't remember.
Is-
it is to find the ruins,
It's to
and we
look into
don't
the
really need
ruins
to.
and figure
yeah.
out whatever's written
Yeah,
there.
technically
No.
we aren't archaeologists, but at the same time, we are actually being archaeologists. This is just an archaeologist's job, so technically we're doing archaeology. And that's kind of how Hunter would be seeing it.
Accurately speaking, we're here to look into the ruins. We are technically, at the moment at least job-wise, being archaeologists.
I
That's
see.
true.
Technical front.
He waits a moment, and it does not cleave into your arm. It believes you. Okay. Your current job is as an archaeologist. Are you freelancers? What kind of freelancers?
Kind of freelancers?
I'll rephrase it. What kind of jobs do you normally do? From the way you're phrasing it, it sounds like archaeology isn't your primary focus.
Kind of like shrug at the group.
Realistically speaking, this may not make sense, but for at least the 4 of us, jumpers, I think would be an accurate term to describe us.
Yeah. Currently, I hunt crime.
Jumper? He looks confused.
Jumper. Jumping between jobs and places constantly. Not staying in one place for too long, if I understand things correctly from what all 4 of us know. Though she may not understand that completely, as he points to healer. She's just a healer who we dragged along because the likelihood of me losing another arm is paramount.
Ah.
It's true.
Jackals. Okay.
The idea of him losing an arm is actually surprisingly high.
Yeah. He gives a nod. Is that true?
I nod.
You jackals?
Wait. Jackals.
I'm... Jackals?
Jack of all trades.
Oh.
Mercenaries with no specific field of emphasis.
Yeah, sounds about
pretty
right.
much, yeah. Yeah.
Once again, you are not bitten by it.
He just kind of shrugs. Yeah. Pretty much fits us to a T.
Are you going to damage the ruins?
No.
It's
Try
not
not
the plan.
to. Do not
Not on
want to.
purpose.
Yeah. Well, those are all incredibly honest answers. He seems to wait for it to try and rip open your arm, but once again, it does not. Do you have any intention of causing any harm to the family?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
If you stab us, yes. Otherwise, no.
I only like to fight people who want to fight me.
I see.
We don't really deal with innocent bystanders. But if you pick a fight, that's typically when we will fight.
All right.
It makes our life easier.
What caused the explosion?
Giant Grim.
Yeah.
Literally named Dave.
Yeah.
Dave.
You really named it.
Yeah, she has that habit. We
Yeah,
weren't
she
joking.
has a hobby of this.
He's my new
Well-
bestie.
Can you
She
blame me for
means that.
questioning it?
Not really, because she's wearing shoes with wheels in them, and looks like at any moment she could explode into glitter. He looks like he's always ready to hunt something. I literally look like I took an explosion in the face and I'm happy about it, and she looks like she's going to a bala.
Yeah.
Well. One last question then. Do you think that your presence here is going to cause a threat to the residents of the land?
That's
That-
hard.
Yeah, that's gonna depend on a lot of factors.
How
Can you
would
be?
looking at
Not
the
on
ruins
purpose.
do that? Not on purpose? Wouldn't want to? How would we do that when we look at the ruins?
It's not just about wanting to look at the ruins. It's making sure that you won't cause problems. I believe that you're coming through here as archaeologist jackals. You're going to take a look at it. You're going to examine it. You're not going to purposefully damage the ruins. But let's just say that sometimes when a place of age gets disturbed, it causes problems. Do you have any intention of causing any problems? Awakening anything that may or may not be slumbering? Or causing any sort of detonation in my vicinity?
No.
Because if so, I have no intention of letting you through here.
It's not really our intention. We're planning on looking at the ruins, attempting to get through the ruins, getting minor blockades out of the way, and Honestly, if something awakens, we're gonna kill it.
I get to kill something.
Or befriend it.
Oh.
So
There.
that's kind of our intention.
All right.
Yeah. Something wakes up, we're gonna kill it before it gets to anything else. Or we'll
If
friend
something's
it.
slumbering, chances are you're not going to have the chance to kill it. Things in deep sleep tend to have a reason that they lived long enough to hibernate in the first place.
That's true. K2 will probably
Either
befriend
way,
it, and then Jackal will probably kill it.
I believe that you don't mean any harm to the people here, at least.
Oh, good.
Masks off.
Got my arm back.
All of them draw their masks off as the Nevermore opens its mouth wider.
Thank you.
Face reveal.
He looks at you. He's definitely got a face. It looks like an anime boy face, kind of Bishonen-esque looking, traditionally attractive. Normal looking, basically.
Sling my gun back over my shoulder.
The name's Aaron.
Hunter.
Obviously, you're not going to be walking through this place alone, but we've got no reason to prevent you from coming through. We might have claim to the land itself, but if you're not a threat, I don't see any reason to turn you away from the ruins.
Fine enough for us.
I'll be serving as your escort. Don't get out of sight. Otherwise, we will assume that it's for nefarious purposes.
Will do.
Fair enough.
Lilani, deliver the information to the Patriarch. That's one of the people from the back gives a nod and very quickly darts off. You notice that she seems to have some sort of scaling up around her neck before she disappears. She seems to move very quickly.
Lizard faunus? Or snake?
Nanya.
Don't make that joke. Don't make that joke.
Yeah. He actually says, none of your business.
Okay.
You're here for the ruins, not for the people.
I shrug. Fair enough.
All right.
I mean, you say not here for the people, but future employment opportunities is always there.
Fair point. Now, if worst comes to worst, by the end of the however long you need to spend analyzing the place, maybe I could use a couple of jackals.
Oh. You know, funny you mentioned that. By the way, hi, Jackalope.
No shit. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Your mom must have known exactly what you were getting into, huh?
Oh, no, that's not even my actual name. That's a name I was given once I entered the military.
Oh.
My real
Okay.
name is lost to time. I don't even remember it. Too many explosions to the head.
Yeah. Cranial trauma does that to you. I've got a friend.
Don't we all?
In any case, he gestures slightly with his head as the Nevermore takes off into the sky. We'll be following it. Just keep an eye on the black speck, and you'll know which direction to head.
I'll
In the
nod.
meantime, you, peppy girl. He very clearly points at Katie.
What was that? What?
What's your relationship with the Grimm?
They're my best friends, and I love them.
How do you deal with the fact that they keep trying to kill you?
They don't. Usually. Depends on the Grim.
What? Do you...
Uh,
You mean tamed Grimm?
No, they have a habit of just not attacking her.
because they know that I love them and they love me too.
I don't get it either.
It doesn't make much sense, but okay.
Eh,
The
you'll
Nevermore
see
up
if
there
you
is
let
a
me pet my
tamed
bird.
Grimm. Don't expect that to work.
I want to pet it. Can I pet it?
Do you value having a hand?
You could layer pet it.
No.
Yeah.
I'm aware. Look, I know folks who've got affinities for this kind of thing. Don't get close to a trained one.
I want to pet it.
I think he knows what he's talking about.
You're vibrating. You're
She's practically vibrating.
No, she's almost gonna go off. She's
Look.
gonna vibrate off the fourth wall. Keep her here.
We've got some ones that haven't been broken in yet if you're that desperate.
I am desperate.
Don't admit to that.
Honestly, if anything, I'm not even mad. I've been dealing with too many people that are a bit two-faced. A lot of you seem to be a lot more honest than I gave you credit for.
To be fair, even if any of us were two-faced, you put one of our people's hand in your mouth, and at least we all value his arm. He kind of needs that to shoot. I can go without an arm. He kind of can't.
Yeah, it's something about your candid way of speaking. You specifically, Jackalope, and also her.
Hi.
The two of you don't seem to mince words, I guess. The way you talk doesn't sound like you're talking around a subject. You just sound like you're saying what's on your head.
To be fair, when you've been shot at enough, had enough explosions going off around you, and you're trying to disarm a bomb all at the same time, you learn not to.
You'd be
at that
surprised.
point-
I'm just
Like
cool
I
like
said,
that.
I know a guy.
Fair.
Still, everyone deals with it in their own way. The other two, they seem to be hedging their answers a lot more carefully. They were thinking things through about how to explain it in a way that best benefits them. Makes sense, just not as honest. There seems to be a little bit of a... He seems bitter about something when he says that. Anyway. The rest of the journey should be pretty quick and quiet, as long as all of you can make good pace.
Should be easy enough.
Good, no complaints. Book it.
I healy onwards.
Okay.
You're gonna need to move a lot faster than those wheels can handle. But yeah, you're basically gonna be moving top pace, like Hunter pace. Hunter, the group of trained warriors, not Hunter the
Can
character.
she Healy that fast?
She cannot, which is why I specified those wheels ain't gonna do that. I'm afraid you're gonna have to actually use your legs the way that the creator intended.
I just like run up to catch up to them, and then I like healy a bit, and then when I start falling behind, it just run a little bit more.
As you go along, it isn't too long before you do end up reaching the target location. Between the fast pace and being led in a direct, straight line through the rest of the path, sure enough, it's not quite twilight when you arrive, but it's clear that the sun's going to begin to dip when you see the dilapidated ruins in the distance. You also spot that there's a couple of people standing near the entrance, all of whom are wearing those same grim masks from before. Notably, one of them is absolutely jacked and huge, standing at least 7 foot.
Hey,
And
Jack,
like I said,
found your
jacked.
new sparring partner.
I don't need another one. The ones that I already have already want to kick me in the teeth. I don't need a third. To be fair, at least this one would be male, so I could punch him in the chest and not feel weird.
Boobily.
Seriously,
Squishy.
odd.
As you approach, she's like, don't mind them. They're just here as security to make sure that you don't fuck up, I guess. Don't blow things up. You will get killed.
By you
wait
or
a
the falling
second.
debris?
Wait a second. We did know about possible hidden things behind walls, so we do have an instrument that would make it easier to get behind them, but we'd have to detect that it's a hollow wall in the first place before we do that, of course.
We
So-
do?
We do! The drill?
The drill?
Yeah.
We have a drill?
We have a drill.
We have
When
a
did we
drill?
get that?
I have it.
When did you get that?
In the beginning, they gave it to me. I asked for it for convenience of the job.
Jackalope just being like, what the fuck?
I thought we were just gonna use like chisels and whatnot if we needed to dig.
Why would we use chisels when we can have equipment?
Because it's
Okay.
efficient.
I'm beginning to think that Jackalope was hired as the muscle and not much else.
Again, I've
yes,
taken a
so
lot of explosions to
will-
the brain.
Okay, so there might be walls that we need to go through, but we'd have to find that out before, of course, we go through it. But we'll point it out to you, and maybe you can clarify that before we do anything.
All right. I got a good pair of ears on me.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Everybody file in. Don't make sudden moves for your weapons. Security can be a bit jittery around guests.
If a Grim comes out, can we shoot it?
If a Grim
I
comes
pet it?
out. If a Grim comes out, you don't need to worry about it.
Can I still move my robot arm? It's kinda is a weapon in and of itself.
Tempted as I am to make a joke about it, yeah, you're free to move it.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Okay. You. He gestures to one of the masked ones. Keep the hounds on standby. And I
Puppies.
bring one of them here. Yeah. He lets out a small sigh as the person seems a bit confused based on their body language for a moment before just nodding and stepping off. A minute
Must be
later,
new.
yeah, there's a hound, a grim hound that's around the size of a Great Dane, and it is led right up to you.
Oh my gosh. Can I pet it? Please tell me I can pet it.
You can, but roll Dex.
You better pass.
You do pass. You are able to move your hand back away fast enough to avoid it snapping at your hand. Something that you haven't had happen with a wild grim. That's a sharp whistle is heard, and while it is a little annoying, Katie, you're the only one that it actually causes pain to. It is extraordinarily uncomfortable, similar to if somebody grabbed, pinched your skin and twisted more than they should. It's really uncomfortable.
Feisty.
It, of course, immediately stops trying to snap at your hand, and it just immediately sits on its hind legs. Notice that it is not responding to abyssal cuties the way that most Grim are.
You're not like the other girls, are you?
Oh no.
It just seems to sit stock still for a moment. The
This one
whistle's
doesn't
blown
seem to
again,
like
but
you as
not
much.
as sharply. Katie, with abyssal cuties, you can suppress any orders, but I'm also going to include them just in case you don't want to. Basically, you now have the urge to start walking around and examining things.
I follow the urge and walk around and examine things.
I
Just
figured.
gonna stare at you.
Both you and the dog start moving around similarly, looking closely at things. Though you're mostly using your eyes, while it seems to be using a nose. It's pretty much a nose.
It's so funny.
The masked person looks confused, but Aaron just waves him off.
Should we be concerned?
I've been come over with the sudden urge to examine things.
Okay, you do you.
All right.
Yeah.
Which portion of the church did you need to check? We've got about 4 vertical floors upwards, including ground floor, and we've got a basement floor.
Jeez.
Goodness.
I would recommend the portion where the bells normally hung, but due to an incident, the bell went through the ground, and there's no place to stand up there anymore.
Eesh.
The bell's since been relocated.
Do we all want to take a floor, or Not sure how much help I'll be in this circumstance, but
It would be better to take a floor, right?
depends on what we're looking for.
So you said 4 floors up and a basement?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's the ground floor, the upper 3 floors, and the basement. A total of 5 locations to examine.
Okay. And we don't currently have a map. I'm gonna ask them. Do you perhaps have a map about this place that I could look at or take? If not, that's
No.
fine.
It's one building. We've never really... It's one broken down, dilapidated building. We've never needed to map it out.
Okay. I feel like there might be... You know how some houses look... you can see how a house looks, and then when you go inside the house, you can notice that there are some rooms that aren't as big as they should be.
Yes.
So can I take to... I want to... Maybe I should ask if I could take to the sky to do a sketch of how it looks from the sky, and then sketch it.
That'll be allowed, but as a heads up, we're going to have a Nevermore and a couple of folks with you down their reticles. Standard security, as long as you don't do anything like draw your weapon up there, you're fine.
Yeah, because I have a different telescope. I won't use that. Alright, should I just get the top down, and then you guys want to start in the inside or something, and I can get, this, what it looks like around?
We could do that.
Okay. I have the drill. I don't know if we'll need it for the top 4 floors, unless something's shenanery going on, but you can probably save it for the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You're able to take the skies. Nobody shoots you down since you're not doing anything extraordinarily suspicious or planning a bombing run. Well, since you're able to take your time for this, I'll have you roll sense, but you pass on
1.
you pass on 4s
Okay.
because this is you're not in a rush.
Hey.
2 degrees of success, you end up with a fairly good understanding of its shape from an external point of view. If you went inside, you would be able to figure out if any of the rooms are in the from the ground floor to the top floor are abnormally sized.
Alright. Oh man, I don't have something that can copy this. Dang, to give to the others. Dang, another thing I need to write down to get.
Yeah, a copy machine.
A copy fucking machine! I want to write that down.
Yeah, you could technically send it to our scrolls.
Oh.
Yeah,
Will
just
it
take a picture of it with your scroll and then send that picture to the rest.
Okay, send the pic to the team.
It's like
and
taking a picture of the blackboard before the teacher erases everything.
Right.
Huh.
I do that and I get back to him.
Okay. In the time that it takes for her to do all of that, there'd be enough time for some examination if you want to take a look at the ground floor.
Sure.
So, the first thing that's notable is that this was very much a place of worship. There, you've got the lines of pews, you've got the big ol' what's the name of that thing that you stand at when you're orating?
A pulpit.
Pulpit. Yeah, it's clearly got one that's set up in a way that you're supposed to set up a book to read from it. It looks fairly standard for that kind of cathedral. Looking over the area, you notice that there are some scratches inside of the pews. Overall, it seems pretty normal, but once you get up to the pulpit, you notice that there are different scratches. Rather than just the fiddling of someone who bonked against something or someone who scratched, these were very much carved letters. They're too faded now to be able to read at all, but it's clear that something was carved into it that was around the length of a single sentence. Probably some sort of phrase.
Everyone has cameras?
Everyone does.
Yeah. Send it to Katie, and then she texts back what it means, if she can.
So it is too faded to be able to make out even for her Google Translate abilities. However, if you were to spot it in a slightly better condition, she would be able to identify that it is indeed the same sentence. She would just need to find that. Overall, from the first floor, aside from that little detail in the pulpit, it doesn't seem like there's anything else that stands out.
Dang.
Do you
Who's
want to
on-
move up or down?
We should leave the basement last, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you walk up to the next floor. The dog accompanies you. As first thing that you note is that most of the air of the portion of the second floor is like walkways with railings that allow them to look over the bulk of the first floor.
That makes sense.
It seems that only from the third floor upwards is it an entirely different like style room. As it is from up here, you can see that everything is still the same. The pews are a little misaligned. It seems a bit odd, but it's probably the fact that they were bonked around during previous excavation attempts.
Mm-hmm.
In the upper, let's see. Actually, I can just use this. If I delete the big guy, I can then draw shape. I will use yellow. Now then, you should be able to see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
Mm-hmm.
There is some misalignment, as you can see. But aside from that, it's pretty normal from an above ground view. As you go around the walkways, you can see that there are places where it seems like candelabra were meant to be almost slotted in to the both the walls and even the railings themselves. From the seams of things, though, the candelabra portions don't have as much dust as you'd expect. Or at
Hidden
least
wall?
compared to the rest of everything I'll specify. There's not as much dust compared to, for example, the first floor.
How is that possible? Not
bit
as much
odd.
dust? Does that mean there's like a lot of wind around this area or something? Or like it's been used?
If you use your sense, you'll be able to get a feel for whether or not there's something like that.
Oh, I was not even in it.
Hey.
Damn.
Yeah. The reason that there isn't dust is that, yes, there's a stronger flow of wind than there should be up here on the second floor. According to what you know from the outside of the building and the construction, there shouldn't be as much airflow right where you are as there is.
I'm gonna raise up my hand and say, guys, I found a distortion in the building. Looks like if there's a stronger flow of wind in this area, can we get someone to... Is it maybe like a separate space or something? Secret door?
If you look over the wall, I'm going to treat your double sixes as a continued success on that. You can find that the reason why is that there are well-hidden slits inside of some of the stone portions that seem to be funneling air in a way that they would directly hit the places where the candelabras would be locked in. It seems like there's some sort of purposeful flow trying to direct air as though to blow on the candelabras. The exact source of it seems to be on the third floor, given the fact that following the angle of the slits, they are angled upwards in order to shunt air from above.
Sounds like those are purposeful.
Do we try, like, putting ones that are already lit or something in the holes and see what happens? Or should we just go to the third floor and see what it might connect to?
I can go up to the third floor and call down to you. That way we
I don't know, are there
roughly where it
any...
is.
Are there any candelabras that we can light and put in these places?
You could ask where the family put them previously.
Oh yeah, I asked that.
Aaron thinks about it. I can bring them up. I can have them bring them up and slot them in. Yeah, we keep most of the artifacts and the like in the basement in order to prevent it from being too tantalizing to folks who are coming in without permission.
I see. That would be helpful. Thank you.
All right. He quickly relays the orders, and a minute or two later, candelabras are slotted into the railings normally. They don't have candles that you can easily light at the moment. though he states that if you need them, he can get a hold of them. It'd probably just be a little bit, so you'd want to keep searching in the meantime.
Question with
What's
because previously I really asked if I could bring equipment to this place. Could it be that I brought oil? Because I know I asked for matches, but I didn't specifically ask for oil or anything.
So I don't think that you would have brought oil, considering that that's like not a standard thing. I would agree with like an electric torch, but not so much that old style of stuff.
Like wraps of cloth we could light on fire or something? Or...
Unfortunately not.
Well,
As it is, he can get you candles to set up on them. It'll just be a bit.
Okay.
In the meantime, there doesn't seem to be anything else that stands out about the second floor.
Okay, you guys, you do you.
Third floor time?
To third, yep.
All right. When you step, so is the party splitting at the moment? Because it sounded like you, Lynn, were sticking with the candelabras while waiting? Or are you teaming up?
I want to go with them, but let them try to... I don't want to backslide too much. Okay, I'll go.
Okay. You're fine.
Well, Jackalope, do you go with the two of them, or do you stick with Lynn?
I'll stick with Lynn.
Okay.
Yay, buddies.
Jackalope and Katie move up to the next floor, and the first thing that you note is it's pretty wide and expansive. Yeah, sorry, Hunter. When Hunter and Katie go up there, it's pretty expansive. It doesn't have as much vertical clearance. It seems like the fourth floor is also going to be separate from the third, unlike the way the first and second are. However, what you also notice is that there are indeed slats in the walls, so that it seems like air would flow through them. It all leads to a large open portion near the front of the church, all leading towards what once was a stained glass window. It's been boarded up from the front at this point in order to prevent excessive wind flow and the like, due to the fact that the stained glass has long since shattered. The stuff on the floor has clearly been cleaned up, so you don't need to worry about shards of glass everywhere you walk. However, from the small shards that you can see that are still attached, it seems like whatever it was very well done. The way that the slits are all pointed suggests that a person could stand at the central point of all of those slits.
Interesting.
Interesting.
You think that means that somebody's supposed to be having all that directed at them, Casey?
I can go stand there. Probably.
Yeah.
Best of luck with that.
And then the fourth might have the bell supposed to be there, I'm guessing?
As you stand in that spot, Katie, the first thing you note is that sound sounds different when you step right there. When you're standing in the center of the point where all of them are pointed, you can faintly make out a conversation going on from the first floor. It seems to just be them talking and complaining about escorting a bunch of archaeologists. However, you can hear them surprisingly clearly. Not only that, the airflow, it's a little stagnant, but you can feel almost a pull. It seems to be kind of coming from the area behind you, specifically the boarded up window. Do you want to try looking more closely at it?
Heck yeah.
Roll sense.
Dang it.
Looking it over, you're having trouble spotting anything notable about it. All you're really sure about is that the airflow around there is definitely altered. At a guess, it seems like maybe a mechanism was meant to be functioning here, but whatever it is, you can't tell anything about it. As you run your hands along the surface, though, you do feel that, once again, there's more carvings into the stone. Whatever it is, it's the same sentence, but still too hard to make out. If anything, it's harder to make out here than on the pulpit.
Dang. Alright, I'm gonna be like, "Ayo, red guy, check this out!
What's up?
Weird stuff over here. Like, flipping, I can, like, hear stuff from the first floor, and, like, airflow is being weird. Like, it's coming from something over here, and I saw,
On
like,
the
the same
first floor.
sentence from earlier. but like it like
As a heads up, Jackalope and Lynn, you are able to hear their conversation through the slit in the wall.
Oh, I can hear you guys.
And as another heads up,
hey!
Katie, Hunter, you cannot hear her.
Oh,
Oh, dang.
hello! They sing to the walls.
Kind of odd that you
Unfortunately,
can
it does
hear
not deliver
first
the
floor
air
conversation.
sound the other way.
Funny.
Wrong name. Hunter, roll sense.
Okie dokie, Chief. So much I have. That would be...
You got this.
2. Oops, sorry.
Did you say 2 and then you got 2s?
Apparently.
Yeah. You're not able to make out anything either. However, as you're talking about that, Aaron arrives and is like, I was able to set up the candles. If necessary, we can light them now.
Yes, please.
All right.
Such
A few moments later, they are all lit. Hunter and Katie, both of you roll dex.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
I was thinking maybe we would do something about that, but never mind.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Both of you succeed, so you're able to prevent yourself from accidentally pressing a button. It's as you're moving forward, you're able to both of you step forward at the same time, and your feet end up pressing down on a what feels like a pressure plate, but you're able to pull back fast enough that it is not fully depressed.
We
That's-
avoided depression.
Depression? Who owes you money?
Now, if you wanted, you could also just jump straight onto the button because that would be allowed because you succeeded. But that is your choice.
Yeah, that's might not want to press that. Wonder what that is.
I'm kind of tempted to press it.
I'd
Right, guys, should I
deeply
press
suggest you don't press it.
I kind of want to press it.
I very much so suggest you not.
I'm
press
gonna press it.
it. I don't suggest pressing the ear.
I'm gonna press it. I press it.
Do you press it?
I press it.
As you do, portions of the stone next to the boarded off window seem to slide open and a push of air bursts in. It's immediately funneled by the carvings in the stone and the slits, and as pretty much immediately after the candelabras are all lit, a strong wind blows past Jackalope and Lynn, and simultaneously every lit candelabra is extinguished. If it weren't for the damage to the walls, it would have pretty much plunged the area into complete darkness.
Oh.
So it seems
Totally
like
worth it.
the purpose of the button is to function as a shut off all lights simultaneously thing.
Wonder what that button did.
Yeah.
It got
meanwhile,
dark. What did you do?
Katie and Hunter have no idea because they can't hear you.
Oh.
Well, that button.
Oh.
I don't know. It's totally
Dang
worth
it.
it, though.
For you two, you're able to tell that the button opened up holes into the sides of the window and allowed air to flow in and through those same slits, following the angle. So while you can't hear them, you do know that the air flowed as a direct result of that button press.
So should we light them again, but not do the press plate?
You definitely can light them again. If you want to prevent Katie from immediately extinguishing them, I'd recommend going upstairs and make sure that she hasn't decided that it's button mashing time.
I'm gonna go and fly up there since is it still open?
Yeah, door's still open.
Okay, I'm just gonna fly up there and then put my hands on the railing and look at them and say, hey, don't push the thingy again. We're gonna light the candles, okay?
Oh, I thought you meant is the door open. There is a
something.
ceiling between the second and third floor.
Oh, okay, never mind. I just walk up then.
But yeah, you
Oh,
see that Katie
yeah.
has indeed stepped directly onto a pressure plate, and Hunter is looking, I wouldn't say disappointed, maybe disgruntled. You sounded very gruntled.
Yeah, he wasn't disappointed because he expected.
His
All right.
expectations were still met.
Goodness. Take 2, guys. Take 2. No button mashing.
What did the button do?
It turned everything off like a off switch. All the lights. Wait, did I
Totally
notice
worth it.
anything in the night? In like the darkness? Did I notice anything, or was it just
as mentioned, the damage to the walls means that light was still filtering in. If you wanted to see it exactly the way that it was intended, you would have to seal up some of the holes in the walls.
Do I have the blankets from the house? I want to get some, or I could just ask them for some tarps and put them on the walls.
Yeah, they might not have enough tarps, but between whatever they have and those blankets you just mentioned, that is 100% an option.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second, guys. We're gonna patch up some holes, and then you guys can push the button again. All right. 1 second.
Yay!
All right. We
I
do
wonder
that.
if we should be fueling her button pressing habits.
Her addiction.
Dopamine, I guess.
Yeah.
fair enough.
You're able to set everything up and block off all the incoming light. The lamps, the candelabra are lit, and they're the only way that you're really able to see. It seems like more lights were probably meant to be on the bottom floor, but it's impossible to know exactly. But if nothing else, all of these lamps are set up exactly as they should be. It's dim, but you can make things out and see almost well, ignoring the fact that you have faunus night vision anyway.
Before we push the button again, since everything's on, do you guys want to see? Can I look around that 3rd floor, and maybe you guys want to check out the 4th floor before something happens? Unless not, I don't know.
I want to check out stuff.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. So seems like Katie and Hunter are going up to the 4th floor while Lynn
we were
examines the
on
3rd
the
floor.
4th floor.
Nope, you're on the 3rd floor.
Oh.
There's
to be pressed.
So there's the ground or 1st floor.
Hey.
We're American, so we use 1st floor as the ground floor. The 2nd floor is walkways and stuff so that you can overlook the for a major opening in cathedral area. The 3rd floor is separate and has a full floor to itself. And then the 4th floor is whatever's above you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Jackalope, which group are you tagging along with?
I'm going to the basement.
No,
Going
dear.
to the basement. Okay.
Alrighty.
Jackalope got bored just sitting there at the 1st floor. He sat in a pew for a little bit, listened to
enough.
everything going on, and he finally got bored enough, and he just walked down to the basement without a word.
Okay. We will handle that in just a second. For the 4th floor, as you two head up, you notice that, first things first, there's clearly meant to be a walkway that leads you up to I think it's called the belfry, where the bells would normally be. Instead, the walkway is completely destroyed. Something heavy crashed through here. And given the fact that if you look straight up from there, you can see where a bell would have been hanging, it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together.
Sheesh.
The 4th floor is pretty much just a single small room that's designed to lead you up to the belfry, but it does seem to have a single old, very sturdy dresser. Examining it, it's clear that the dresser there's nothing in any of the compartments. All of the drawers are empty. However, it is in surprisingly good condition, albeit showing signs of its age.
What was in it? You guys get it? I'm so curious.
When they open the drawers, they find that there's nothing inside of the drawers.
But did they take it? Did the masked people take it? Well, I'm not there. Whatever.
Well, it seems like a nice thing. Is this supposed to be in this spot? We're able to tell if it looks weird or not.
It looks natural. Like, it looks kind of like it belongs there as far as... Oh, well, that's a failed roll in GM's part. Okay, so that was no successes. Specifically, Hunter, when you are trying to push the topmost drawer back in, it catches for a moment before sliding back in.
Oh. I won't try to repeat that.
Roll Dex.
Okay.
Fail. As you end up pulling and trying to slide back in, you end up pushing it a little harder than maybe you should have. And there's a click. Whatever is going... It seems that you've triggered some sort of mechanism inside of it. And it becomes clear that the reason it looks fairly natural to be sitting there is because it is also intentionally locked in place.
Weird.
You're not sure what it is you did, but you did something.
Hey, Katie, look around the area. Not
Aye.
sure.
There's not much to look around at. Like I said, it's a very small room.
I'm looking.
This thing had a locking mechanism. I'm not really sure what it did.
Neither of you are able to tell. Jackalope, while you're inside of the basement, you're looking around. It's fairly dark. It smells musty. It's not pleasant, but like it's a basement. You know what you're getting into. You notice that a lot of the stuff is kind of set up and stored to the side, boxes that are clearly labeled and seem to refer to certain items that were relocated from inside of the bulk of the cathedral. However, a little bit after you walk through, you hear a click nearby, coming from one of the walls.
I go to investigate the wall.
From the seams of things, a small portion of what seemed like seamless stone is now popped slightly out.
I take the piece of stone and I pop it completely out.
Looking inside, you can tell that there is a small book. It's when you pull. I assume you. No, I shouldn't assume things. Do you reach in to pull it out?
Yes.
Okay. Roll dex for me.
Indiana Jones.
Question: does my dex get affected like my strength?
Wow, I'm actually asking this question. Which hand did you use to grab it?
Probably the robot one, honestly. If this thing is gonna bite at me.
Yes, your dex is affected because you're still not used to using the prosthetic.
Fair. How many to roll again? Since I have 4 in the dex, do I just roll 3?
Yeah, you just roll 3.
I really hope it doesn't burn
But
the
you do
book.
get a success. As you pull it back, you do feel a slight shift as you do. It seems like it was holding down a pressure switch. With your successful roll, you can immediately put it back before the pressure switch goes off.
Okay, I put it back.
Okay.
I look for something in the room that weighs just as much.
Does not take you long to find a small book inside of the box of books. It's clear that it was designed to be a diary of a priest, but all of the pages are far too worn out that you can't read anything. In your hand, they feel to weigh about the same.
Alright. I shall attempt to switch out the books then.
Okay. This will be another dex check. Do you want to use your fleshy human hand or your robot hand?
I'll use my fleshy human hand this time around.
Okay, you get all 4 die.
This time.
Damn, 3 degrees of success.
God damn.
It is, yeah, it is smooth as butter. There isn't even a shift in the plate as you pull it out. From the seams of things, unlike the rest of the books, this one is fairly well maintained, kept in a completely isolated and dry, even hermetically sealed location. You'll need to be very delicate with it due to its age, but it is in far better condition than anything else you've seen in this church.
Oh, nice.
One of the people in the mask has been watching you carefully, and he's eyeing the book, but he doesn't immediately take it from you.
I noticed this, yes?
Yes. There's not any subtlety in the fact that he's very suspicious of the fact that you found this.
I'm gonna look over to him and simply ask, is this one of your books?
No.
Why eyeing it? You say it's far too old, but you're eyeing it very, very intently.
Yeah. None of us found that, and yet you just walked right up to it.
Would you like to know how I found something like that so easy?
I'd appreciate it.
Well, when I was in military service, people would hide bombs and stuff in places like that. Have a very thin wire and the smallest crack. You wouldn't notice it unless you were paying attention to how the room felt. Also looking for any slightly off-kilter pieces of wall and or brick, something that looks like it may have moved at one point or slightly off-kilter. Checking it out, carefully remove the brick, try not to set off the wire, and hope you don't explode.
He seems to relax a little bit, believing the explanation. I see. Well, get the rest of those archaeologists and give them a heads up, I guess.
Will do. As Jackalope slowly opens the book and just starts walking upstairs as he's seeing if he can read any of it.
Okay. Meanwhile, all of the lamps and the like have been lit, and it's been a little bit. Did you want to hit the button, Lynn, in order to see what happens?
And should we press it? I know that the bell's not up there. I kind of want to restore everything the way it can be. Is it possible to get the bell back up there?
No. Goodness, no.
No.
That bell is
All
all
of this,
fucked.
yeah. The reason the bell fell down is because the support things inside of the thing that are meant to hold it up are broken. You would have to, like, literally rehew stone and probably replace a good portion of the ceiling above it in order to be able to hang the bell again.
Never mind. Can I investigate the 3rd floor and then figure out why that, maybe something they missed or something? If not,
Go ahead and roll sense.
We'll just push the button.
2 degrees of success. Examining it, it becomes clear that this is indeed the purpose of this portion. The way that it's stationed right in front of the glass window, the fact that it leads in from the sides in order to blow out the things, it seems like it's meant to be part of, I hesitate to use the word ritual, but it's clear that this is a specific thing with practiced use that is meant to achieve a specific effect. Possibly as part of the prayer that they used to do. The rest of the floor seems to be more utilitarian in nature, meaning to lead the person up to the belfry. Most of the area aside from that is just empty. Most of the stuff has been relocated down to the basement in order to try and prevent the wear of age destroying the objects.
Okay. And is there nothing like abstaining the movement of the air, like the boarded on the windows or something?
Nothing seems to be preventing the flow of the air, especially since previously when the button was pressed, it did extinguish the candles.
All right. Then I'll just go communicate with the rest of the people that they can push the button again.
Okie doke. Katie and Hunter, both of you, you're not able to find anything else on the 4th floor. Do you head back down?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like you all end up reconvening on the 1st floor.
Nice.
Yeah. You're able to see that, yes, Jackalope has a book. It's a little hard to read it in this low candle light, and it's even harder for Jackalope since it's written, most of it is completely destroyed in terms of the legibility. The ink has long since faded. There are some passages, but whatever it is definitely that same language.
Can I read it?
You can try. Roll sense, because it's not as clearly written as the carvings in stone. This is scratches upon paper.
Dang it! 2s everywhere!
Too many of them.
Yo.
Unfortunately, you don't seem to be able to read it in its current state. It's possible that you could try and get the paper restored professionally and you'd be able to read it, but for now, at least, it's outside of your ability.
Do we know anyone that can restore paper?
I mean, Hunter is a hunter, so he could potentially know somebody who knows somebody.
That's true.
Similarly, you're meant to find old and archaic information for the boss and M anyway, meaning that this is the kind of thing that they're probably on the lookout for, and they could probably professionally restore it. Though whether or not they'd let you read it afterwards is dubious.
You can't let them steal it. I want to read it.
Additionally, if you'd like, you can signal for one of the family members to step on the button and extinguish the flames.
Yeah.
Yep.
We good?
You signal for that to happen?
Yeah.
Pushing the button.
As the button is pushed, everything is immediately extinguished, and in the very low light, for just a moment, you can see that there's a very slight glow on the roof of the room. It is that same language, but this one is still strong enough that Katie can read it. And in fact, it's got some familiar words.
Mhm.
We gather here to commemorate her words and his name.
Did they like extinguish it and then like do like a prayer or something underneath it? Because it seems like it's like glowing above them, right? So
Yes. After a few moments, your eyes adjust to the darkness, and for whatever reason, you can no longer make out what was written on the ceiling. It seems that it's only meant to be seen for a moment before your eyes adjust.
that's a pretty cool effect.
What'd you see?
Well, I saw words.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Can we do it again? And then can I record it on my? I want to record this whole place on my camera, my like camera or something. Am I allowed to do that?
You can try.
I'm gonna hold up like a camera film to the family and say, "Can I record this whole place for documentation?"
I'm not sure about that. Roll to try and convince him. I forget what roll I used that. What was
Appeal,
that?
shape.
I have a thingy
Yeah,
for
I
that.
think
Add both
you
is-
use. Let's see. Attributes and abilities. In this case, you'll use appeal.
Cool. 1 second. Warehouse. Okay, what about this one that says that you can, it's a towards someone older than you for the purposes of convincing them you aren't a threat or overly responsible. Does that have anything to do with the situation?
If anything, that would work against you, because you'd be trying to convince him that you're not a responsible person and you want to film this stuff is probably not what you want.
Okay. +1 die to check you perform on any non-hostile person.
Okay, yes, that will give you a +1 to your appeal roll.
Okay, so that's a +3. What about the checks towards certain individuals? No, that's not even. Yeah.
From abs,
Yeah.
that's not going to apply here.
Never mind. They don't like puns or abs. Good to know. All right.
Right
so
now, you're not trying to seduce him, so your physical attractiveness will not be super impactful.
AP check towards convincing people that you know what you're talking about, or feigning confidence.
Hey.
This isn't about feigning confidence, it's about requesting permission.
But it's what I know what I'm talking about, right? So it's like confidence and shit.
If you can roleplay it, I'll allow it.
Fuck, I can't roleplay for shit.
Yeah, I see. You can't roleplay in this. What's this game called? A TTRPG. What does this stand for?
Look, I just pushed the options. It's A, B, or C, and yeah.
Yeah, if you want to roll for appeal, just flat out, that's totally fine. Or you get that +1 for that you mentioned earlier, though, because he's not hostile.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a single degree of success at least. He internally debates it. It's like, fine, but only for these floors. If we find something else, like what you were talking about with the drill, that's a no-go.
Alrighty. So I'll go ahead and we'll light all the candles again, and then I'll turn on my camera, recording the kind of like pointing out.
I'll tell you a tragedy right now. Much like trying to aim your standard camera phone at the stars, you're not able to pick up a very good picture, and you can't make out the faint lettering in the darkness.
I am gonna ask for a better nighttime camera. I swear. Shopping has to happen. All right, never mind.
Now, your personal camera, it's very high quality, but you'll need an upgrade in order to pick up something that specifically faint.
I need an HD camera that can also film in the dark from thousands of feet away.
God.
But yeah, seeing it a second time, Katie can definitely confirm that is what it says. Almost all of those words are words that were used in the previous statement, so they are very clear. It is very easy to understand for her.
Yep.
Also notable, that because of the similarity to the previous message, you can tell, Katie, that the pronouns in this one are switched around. In the previous prayer that you read from the top, it said that it was meant to venerate her name and to hold his words in your heart. But here they're swapped.
Weird.
Fascinating.
Previous place. Okay. Let's use the map and see if there's any fake walls or places we haven't seen.
Oh, actually, Hunter, can I get your assistance with something?
Sure. What's up?
Hey, dude that is with us.
It's Aaron, but what's up?
Come with me, and when he uses his semblance, don't freak out.
Thanks for the advance warning. He follows.
Alright. Y'all may want to come too, just in case. I don't know what this will do.
Oh.
I found a button. It's also where I got that book, and reminding that we have a drill. I want to see what the button does.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright.
So, yeah, you go forward. Hunter, what was your semblance again?
Light manipulation.
Okay. So, yeah, you could illuminate some weird stuff and the like.
Well,
So you end up... Oh,
like,
what were you saying?
remember, hard light.
Hard
Yeah,
light.
hard light manipulation.
Just in case this place tries to come down on our heads. You know.
I can,
you-
in fact, make a wall between us and the
rubble?
everything.
Okay. You approach it, and you're able... You didn't even shut the thing behind you, so it's clear to everyone where the hole in the wall is. And yes, from the seams of things, looking closely and knowing that it's there, you can spot that there's a small pressure plate that is being held down by the other book.
Can I take a look before we take the book off?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll sense. As a heads up, you'll probably need a pretty spectacular sense to be able to see through the stone surrounding it, but you'll definitely be able to get a good look at what's there. So 1 degree of success. You can't see like where it leads, but it's clear that whatever this mechanism is, it's mechanical in nature, definitely not electrical. It's once that thing is lifted, something is going to happen somewhere to the left of the opening in the wall.
Oh. I'll go ahead and tell them that and say, should we stand to the right or be...
Just a sec, Aaron says, moving forward. He knocks on the wall a few times in spots, and he's like, nothing sounds off, but... Here. Who here has the best ears?
I point
I
to
do.
Lynn.
Alright. Put your ear close to the wall.
Alright.
Yeah, reaches into his pocket and pulls out what appears to be a small nail and a small hammer. He ends up reversing the nail so the flat is against the wall, and then gives it a single, firm tap. Now, a small amount of aura seems to come from the nail for a moment as it clangs into the wall. And Lynn, roll sense here. You will pass on 4 due to the effect that's currently being achieved.
Yep.
Jeez.
2
High
degrees of
rolls
success. Yes, says the person who's just getting 2s and the like.
High rolls from everyone else.
Technically, he rolled that he asked for. He got 2.
But yeah, hearing it, you can hear that after about 8 feet of solid stone, it opens.
Oh. Like it just pops open, or I hear it like a false wall?
You hear that there is an opening in there. Like it seems to be a false wall here in the basement, that after about 8 feet of that stone, there's just a place. There's an opening.
Oh, I'll put my finger on the wall and say, right here.
Do you want to get out the large drill, or do you want to try using the button?
Do you guys want to use the button first? See what that does?
I mean, if we can prevent destroying this place, yes.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Hey, just in case, Hunter, around us, make a... What's the word? A box and entrap us in it and make a small hole in it so I can reach out and grab the book. You know, just in case, the thing tries to fall. Probably best the person, missing the arm grabs it.
I'll do a dome around us and a little bit of
Cool.
hole where he wants it to.
Okay. So you reach in, you pull the book off the thing and allow the mechanism to go through.
Yep.
All right. As the mechanism goes off, there's a sequence of clicks before a very heavy slam can be heard directly to the left of the opening, right where the so where he had clanged it and learned that there was a hole in there was an opening about 8 feet away. That is where you can hear the crash.
Oh. Did it just get double protected now? Let's hear the wall again.
It's still open.
Wait, huh? A heavy crash?
Yes, there was definitely something incredibly heavy moving.
Maybe it's a wall.
Now here's another question. Do you want to try pressing the button back down?
Yes.
Are you gonna spam it?
You push the button, and
Push
you
the
hear
button.
another crash. The same one, in fact.
That's kind of concerning.
Something heavy is being moved rapidly and forcefully every time that button changes states.
Well, I'm gonna leave it open, the button unpressed, and I'm gonna take a look around.
Okay. Inside of the room at large, there's nothing else that you're able to see. I assume, though, that one of you is getting the drill and going to start working through it.
Sure, I'll
Actually-
open the portal, or no?
Before you do that, I want to push on that wall. Just push it.
Okay. As you try pushing on it, there's no resistance that you get. Or sorry, no, there's... What's the opposite? There's no give to it. As you push into it, it's solid. It's sturdy. However, it's a bit odd. When you push against it, it doesn't feel like there's as much resistance as there should be. Like, specifically, if it was one full solid wall, you should be able to feel the resistance throughout the whole wall because it's all attached. You don't. This portion of the wall is detached.
Have a door here, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
How do we open the door? Interesting.
Does it... Okay, it probably doesn't slide open.
Yeah.
Right?
If you'd like to take a second look with the assistance of the nail and hammer, you can... Well, look, I mean a second listen. Then you can try to listen for anything else, Lynn.
Yeah, I don't really want to drill the wall, so let's see if we can do... Yeah, try that.
Okay, roll sense with pass on 4.
Again.
Hey.
2 degrees of success. You're able to hear that something moves, like not really moves, though the way that things vibrate. Something shifts a little bit differently from the rest of the marble, and it seems to be leading up towards the pulpit.
Something's moving up towards the pulpit. Has any of the guards seen anything happening up there?
You ask, and it seems that nobody's seen it. If you'd like, you can try and examine the pulpit yourself, Lynn, with your high sense.
Yeah, let me go up there, and then just holler up to me when you're gonna push the button again. Cool.
Okay.
I'll go do that.
Standing at the pulpit, you look closely and roll a sense for me. You will pass on 5s for this one because you don't have his direct assistance. 2 degrees of success. Pretty solid. You're able to quickly determine that there is something about the pulpit that's connecting them. When he tangs against it, there's a very, very faint sound of something vibrating. Something that's a little looser than it should be. Examining the bottom of the pulpit, you can see that there was a mechanism there. The gear, unfortunately, this tiny little thing barely visible beneath the pulpit, is broken. You need a replacement gear of some kind. Or you could try to just manually rotate it by hand, but that you'd have to do a dex roll to avoid, potentially damaging your fingers in the gear work.
I can't do that. Jack, you have the heist. Come over here, please.
Alright.
Please.
Please stick your fingies in the gearbox.
Please.
Break yourself
Jack
for
is
me.
Jack's just gonna shrug and walk upstairs.
Thank you.
Okay. As you arrive, it's clear exactly what she means. You could try and use a dex to move it manually. One success would mean that you succeed, but you pinch yourself in some way. 2 successes means just unconditional success. You win.
Wow,
Well,
you just.
Given
What
the fact that
happened?
you used 3 instead of 4, I assume you're using the mechanical hand?
Yeah.
So as that happens, it tries to rotate a little bit as you try to rotate it as well, but instead of rotating it properly, it instead tries to crunch on your finger, and another gear breaks, because your very strong metal hand is stronger than the aged gears.
Screw this. As you see Jackalope just you see him pull out a small thing of gears, the leftover gears from his robotic prosthetic. Yeah,
It's not a great fit. It's not perfect. But, especially for the creativity of bringing up the fact that you would have needed those kinds of things for your prosthetic arm, I will allow it. You're able to set it up so that it will work. Not perfectly, but it'll work. Now, as you set that up, you notice that there's a small shift as something clicks slightly in the pulpit. And looking closely, you can see that inside the underside of the pulpit, it has another switch. This one that you'd have to lift up slightly.
I click it.
Clicky. And this is what is seen by the people still on the bottom floor. Looking at the solid stone wall, you see that you first hear a click, and then what you see and hear is the entire portion of the wall turning into a liquid and splitting vertically and moving to both sides, seemingly melting with the rest of the wall.
Wow.
Excuse
The
me.
path is open, and the stone has turned to water somehow.
Man, I hate when that happens. Just stone turns into an entirely different state of matter.
You can also see that on the top of it, there's a faint glow, similar to the same glow that was inside of the main room, but this one's stronger, and it seems to make up some sort of matrix work. You can sense what's flowing through it. Whatever triggered is a feeling of aura. It's not a human's aura by any means. It seems to be some sort of artificial energy source, but it feels exactly like the aura that you use.
This reminds me of that creation, right? The marble creation?
So in this case, technically you're not down there, but for Katie, who is down there and who saw the face of the creature, it does not look quite like that. That one looked very solid, it was very clear, clean marble. This is kind of rough stone. Even when it turns into a fluid, it doesn't bear too much resemblance to the marble figure, which looked almost just think the way skin looks except marble. Here, it looked like stone, and then it looked like that stone turned to a direct fluid, not into a state of matter similar to human skin.
Okay.
But yeah, the
Unpleasant
path
for
is
me.
now open for you.
Yay!
Yay!
You can also faintly hear the sound of gears whirring.
That's concerning.
Let's go check it out.
Okay.
What was behind the wall and the push button? But I guess we're going through this one instead.
The specific thing that opened up is to the opening. When you found that the opening was after 8 feet of solid wall, that 8 feet of solid wall is what turned to a liquid and moved out of the way.
Oh.
You've now exposed the opening.
Okay.
Jackalope's gonna sit there. Look at all of you. Now who's the dumb one? He's gonna walk through the door happily.
Okay. As a question, who is the last person to walk into the room, into the opening?
Probably me.
Cool.
The Jackalope goes
dex.
first. I would make Katie and Lynn go in front of me.
Roll dex.
Oh, goody. I would love to get higher than a 4.
Lynn and Katie, both of you roll dex.
Oh no! I was
Okay.
like, push us forward with.
Hey, 2 degrees.
2 degrees of success.
Oh no,
And let's
guys!
see, Lynn.
I can't do this, guys.
So, Lynn, you're just a tad slow, but Katie, you move with the practiced ease of someone yanking a D class right away from the thing that they dang well know that they shouldn't be touching. As you're able to reflexively pull Hunter forward just in time as the gears whirring stops and the wall suddenly reforms itself exceptionally quickly right behind you, throwing all of you and Aaron, who walked in with you, into complete darkness.
Not my fault.
You know what? If it wasn't, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna go ahead.
There's some
I'm gonna
heavy
light a
slamming.
torch.
Yeah, there's some heavy slamming on the wall from the people on the other side. As Aaron says, "1 sec, I'll communicate with them and I'll tell them. How did you open this?"
Went upstairs to the pulpit and clicked a button on the underside of the pulpit.
Got it. I'll
Careful
tell
with
them
the
that
gearing.
I'll tell them that in Morse.
Mad skills, boy.
Also tell them that the gearing isn't perfect. It's cobbled together. So they may need to, tap it once in a while with a hammer or something.
All right. I'll trust you guys to go ahead. I'll relay the information.
Oh no.
Cool.
Yeah, and as mentioned, Lynn, you do have yourself an electric torch, a good old-fashioned flashlight.
Is there anything in the darkness that we should see that should be here before we light the torch?
No, you don't see anything like hidden lettering or anything like that. But when you turn on your flashlight, you can see that it's a good thing you didn't move forward, because there's some stairs, and those are hard to walk in the dark.
Oh. All right. I handed a torch to everybody. If they want what torch?
I'll take one.
All of you now got yourself some electronical torches.
Yay!
As you walk down, you're able to walk forward, and the number of steps corresponds to about probably 3 or 4 stories down before you find yourself in front of a large metal door. It is not locked, but it is shut.
Well, that's a lot deeper than I was expecting.
Is there a mechanism?
From the seams of things, there doesn't seem to be. If you want to try to just open it, it's heavy, but it's doable.
Teamwork?
Sure.
Alrighty.
All right. With the size of it, you work as a team, and because, I'm assuming you're all pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Push with your back.
Okay. With that, you are all able to push it open. Mm-hmm. And inside, you can see it is very well made. There's a mustiness to it. The fact that the air is stagnant. Like, it seems like nothing has been moved in here whatsoever. The most movement it's seen is the moment you just open that up, and the slight displacements of air as you open that seems to cast some dust in the air. However, what you see is surprisingly well furnished. Like red velvet seats. It's clear that this is a place that's very, I think posh is probably the right word. It's very well made. It seems like it was very well maintained. Age seems to have not really damaged it whatsoever as time went on, and you can see that while it's not very well lit, because you only have your torches, it is a very beautiful room. Not only that, there is another pulpit very similar to the one at the in the main cathedral, but this one is perfectly preserved.
Should we check out the room before we try, or someone want either both? Let's check out the pulpit.
Will do.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure enough, what you're able to spot immediately is the exact carved sentence from above, which Katie is easily able to recognize as the same. Do you read it?
Yeah. Which
Okay.
pronouns do we got going on?
So this one is very weird to read. The words don't match up very well with your previous thing, so what you end up reading is... Let's see. By God's judgment, the moon came down to earth. The night now shines like diamond dust. Which is surprisingly well written, considering the fact that I punched that through 6 layers of Google Translate, but... if Google Translate's good, then Katie, who is Google Translate, is good. So yeah, something about God's judgment sending down the moon and the night shines like diamond dust.
Yeah, I relay it.
I'll probably need everything written down in Discord.
Yeah. You can also see that behind the pulpit, there's a door that would lead you deeper into these chambers.
Investigate the room first.
Yeah. Anyone who's actively investigating, roll sense.
Oh, oof.
Oof.
Yes. Ooh.
Oof.
1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Oh my God.
Yay!
Jackalope
We can only fail so hard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive fails.
All that military training coming in clutch from all those destroyed churches he sat in.
Yeah.
Looking through the area,
Christ
what you're
almighty.
able to quickly determine is that there are not any contained like books or anything like that, but you are able to find something else. You're pretty sure it's got to be at least a couple 100 years old, but you found the communion wine.
You have put something in front of me.
Uh-oh. Wait,
Oh no.
we should
Kane,
document this. Oh no.
Do you challenge me?
Oh,
Are you
no.
challenging me?
I'm not challenging you, but I'm not going to stop you from taking it like one.
Jesus Christ.
Finally aged.
I mean, if it's communion wine, then it's grape juice, typically and/or a form of booze. This is really old booze.
Yep.
This has been finely aged in a perfectly preserved room.
Kitty is just like, do it, do it, do it.
But if there's something different with it than other stuff, then at least leave some of it to be, investigated.
Does anyone have a cup?
I do. 1 second.
Chug, chug, chug.
I give
Just-
it to you.
He pours the cup, sets it down very carefully, takes the entire bottle, and goes to town.
Oh my God.
I'll take the cup.
Yeah, pressure.
I
So,
just don't look
as you
at him.
drink-
I'm just don't go, you want to share?
It's not terrible. It's clear that it's wine. It's far older than any wine you've ever experienced, but surprisingly it has not reduced to vinegar. Overall, it's pretty good wine.
Cool.
Whoever made it probably was really good for their time, but modern day drinks, surprisingly, a bit more depth of flavor.
Ah, yes.
Here.
But is it more, I'm gonna get drunk?
You could probably light it on fire, honestly. It's surprising. It's a lot stronger than most folks would logically expect. It's possible that it's gotten stronger over the years, or it's also possible that they just made their communion wine to hook people up back then. It's impossible to know. You just know it's strong now.
Wow.
So
Let's
Jack
keep
Loaf
looking.
just
you've got questionably aged wine
Cool.
that's in your inventory now.
so wiggity. I hand some of that to Hunt. I hand the bottle over to Hunter. Have a sip. It's not bad.
I'll take a drink.
Okay. Do you sip or do you take a drink?
I take a drink. You don't go halfsies.
Yeah, you go ahead and you roll me endurance.
Just don't drop the bottle, guys, okay?
I like how you didn't have Jackalope roll endurance when he did the exact same thing.
Damn.
Yeah. So, with Jackalope, I just assume that he's drunk spirits stronger than King Boo.
Probably.
Hunter, on the other hand, doesn't strike me as the kind of character who's slammed back some drinks strong enough to kick a mule in the teeth.
Nah,
So
he
in your
drinks
case-
for fun.
Yeah. So Hunter, you have a 5. That's a success. So you do gag a little because it's very unexpected. But it doesn't taste bad. It's just way stronger than you were anticipating.
This is some strong wine. What they make this out of? The tears of
Grapes,
Brim?
probably.
The tears of grapes.
Yeah. Along with that, there doesn't seem to be anything in this main room.
Well, it appears drinking was a habit of whoever made this place. Not that bad of a habit, considering.
Or they
You-
probably just stored it here for the communion.
Yeah, yeah. Don't
Now,
pass it back to Jackal.
Do you examine the back door and go through it?
Yeah.
Okay, doke. Stepping through, what you're able to tell is there's some kind of paint on the walls. The room itself seems to be a sphere, and it's about 20 feet radius, so 40 feet overall from one side to the other side. It seems to be dome-shaped, but when you try to shine your flashlight onto the walls, whatever the paint is, it seems to almost absorb it, similar to the phenomenon, Bands of Black and all of that stuff. It just doesn't seem to reflect the light back very well, if at all. However, you do notice, as you cast your flashlight around, in the center, there appears to be a small spot, a bowl-like shape, where it's clear something is meant to be, from the seams of things, and the looks of it, there's char. Something is burned here. Not the wine. Just giving you a heads up. Not the wine.
Something burned.
Yeah, a fire is meant to be lit in this spot.
Oh, okay. Somebody burned something. That isn't evidence.
That isn't evidence.
Well, I got matches, so I pick up something. Yeah.
You could
Do we have anything to burn?
I have random stuff.
you all of you have spare cloth inside of your warehouses. There's a door right behind you for those that don't have the special whole transportation thing. So you could rather gather some quick scraps of cloth and burn them there.
Nah, no. I take a bit. I rip a bit of my, because I haven't repaired my clothes because Jackalope doesn't care.
Jackal.
He just rips a part of his shirt off, dips it in the cup of wine that we have, puts it on the spot, and lights it.
All right, it goes up. Here's the question: were you holding that with your robot hand?
Yes.
Then you're perfectly fine, even if you don't pull out back very fast. So as it ignites, something else ignites as well. Something invisible. You can't even see it. Possibly something similar to gas, but the way it ignites, it creates this orb of golden light. The scrap of cloth that you used seems to fall apart almost immediately, but your hand seems fine as you pull away. Instead, the orb seems to illuminate the room as the golden light seems to surge into the pillar that the bowl was placed atop and spreads out through the floor. And after a moment, the deep Vance of Black is covered in sparkling dots.
Mhm.
Your first thought, stars. Maybe it's a star map. But whatever you're looking at, star map doesn't match up with anything you've ever seen, with one exception. Katie recognizes that night sky.
Oh.
This is a record of the night sky from back during Dave's time. These are not the same stars that you look up to at night, but they are the same ones he saw before he disappeared.
Oh,
Sir
Take a pic-
Dave's stars.
let's take a
Dave's
picture.
time.
Whoever made this rum was able to recreate those stars, knew what that night sky looked like. The night sky from before the moon shattered.
Mm.
Taking pictures if I can.
So as you try to take the pictures, first off, you can't use flash, but a lot of the details are lost, but you're able to make out the major gist of it, major constellations and the like.
Mhm.
Now, Katie, you don't really notice it since it's there. What is noticed is that everyone else who's not recognizing and looking closely at those things, being awestruck at exactly how accurately Dave's eyes conveyed the information. The rest of you notice that there's a small opening inside of the pillar, little thing, the thing that the bowl is placed on. And now that the room is lit up, you can clearly see that there's a small book there that was also preserved. It is written in the other language, if you'd like. Excuse me. If you'd like to get Katie's attention.
Katie. The
Yep,
book.
that's my name.
It's a book. Can you read it, please?
Okay. I read the book.
Now, I am going to directly DM you this, Katie, and you are going to read it out loud for everybody.
Oh, goody.
Oh, gee.
Click.
The sparks in the shadows and crushed empty night weighs on our minds are fading. The gods' actions are revealed. The cleansing is far from over. Faced with the frailty, body and mind, I long for the tokens of stone and steel. Carve my thoughts as tokens that I possess them. At God's judgment, the moon came down to earth and night shines like diamond dust, but we will lose a lot and get another chance. But the first chance can't accept the following usage? Why should we be destroyed and start over? Not ready to leave. I have a daughter to raise, a wife to take care of, parents to take care of. I have not achieved much in my life, but I am happy with my life. I am happy with my life. Have the cruel and cruel gods we worship failed in their eyes? We are the experimental casualty? Knowing that there will be no time against as I live, I write this sentence last to curse them. If I can't be happy in this world, the next world they create may be painful, like the end of this world.
That is it in its entirety. It went through
Jeez.
Google Translate a couple of times in order to give it that really weird sounding feel, because Katie's brain tries to translate it, but it's a little more complicated than the one sentence that she had been given by Dave before. Nonetheless, I think the gist of it is still conveyed.
Yeah.
Concern.
Fascinating.
The next world may be painful. Like what, death or something? Yeah.
Maybe after the moon was destroyed is what they were referencing?
At that, you can hear some footsteps behind you as Aaron approaches and pokes his head. We're able to get it reliably open again. We're
Nice.
good to leave whenever you are, or if you're still examining, that's fine. Just keeping you apprised.
Thanks, man.
Anything else in this room?
Only the star map in the book. There's nothing else.
Go ahead. So after we wrote down everything that was said in the small book, we'll probably take both of the books and we'll see if we're allowed to take them to make them better again, right? Restore them?
Yeah.
So hopefully we can restore both books.
So the book that I just read, is it like the rest of it is that all there is in it?
The rest is blank.
They're scritched on there, right? If you put a cloth over it and then use charcoal, is there anything like in the indents of the pages, or?
There's not.
Okay.
It seems that a new notebook was opened specifically to leave that message, whatever it means.
Spooky.
With all that, do you head outside of the room area?
think so.
Mm-hmm.
We went through the back door, yeah.
Yes. Goes
About
to
the
the star
wall.
map. Oh yeah,
Oh.
what's up?
About the wall that turned into liquid, it could, like, if I chiseled off a bit of that and, like, had it examined, I wonder if that would be different, or, like, it's some type of thing that it's, like, it looks like regular wall and is regular wall until something happens to it.
Do you want to try chiseling off a little bit and then having it switch to fluid and back?
Yeah, if that's possible.
It is. And
Fluid
when you
and
chisel
back.
the little bits of rock off and it's turned back to liquid, the rock in your hand doesn't change. The properties that seem to be affecting it are not inherent to the rock, but it seems to be from the effect of whatever matrix is currently inscribed upon the roof portion.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly, because I assume that you tried to take a picture of it, the matrix does not show up in any pictures that you try to take.
Oh, okay. Can I try to copy it onto a paper?
You certainly can. I'll have you. So copying it with that level of meticulousness to get this is a very detailed thing. You'd probably need. If I'll have you roll a dex, and depending on how well you do, that's how well you're able to copy this incredibly specific thing.
Cool. I asked Jack to help me.
It's gonna be all twos.
Definitely, because it's only 2. I only have 2. Wait. Oh, I have 2, not 3.
Hey.
A pair of 6s.
Hey!
You are able to copy it, incredibly accurately. It's not exactly picture perfect, but it's pretty much as close as you're going to get without the ability with your cameras unable to pick it up.
Oh, actually, I think I have 2 decks, not 3 decks. So just take off one of the 6.
Not as faithful. It's a good rendition, a solid representation of it. Not as perfect as if you had been able to roll 2 6s, but it's fine. It captures the broad strokes very well.
Got it. We'll try to figure this out later. Alrighty.
Yeah. And of course, since it is now 9 p.m., I am legally obligated to point out that as you're all beginning to leave, the ground begins to tremor a bit. There's a weird sensation beneath you.
Dave.
Something funky's happening. Don't worry. It's not Dave.
Oh.
Something weird's about to happen, but that's what we're going to cover next time.
On Jumpchain.
Yep.
Yay,
Next time
murder.
on Jumpchain Terminal Season.
Yep.
Y'all listen to this time you'll listen to the power of Google Translate and checking a church out. Next time, ground is shaky. Why? We'll see.
Let's see if we get some bakey. Hopefully you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed this. If you guys did, feel free to check out Tables of Taurus, where these videos are uploaded after Twitch drops them. Go check out Vods of Valhalla for some of our other series that we do. We also stream on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday currently. So check out any of those times. They all start at 7 p.m. PST. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Bye.